And good afternoon, and welcome to season 5, episode 18 of the Leaders Only digital show and podcast. I am Samaj,
And I'm Kendall.
and we're brought to you today by What a Change Mentoring and Tone Drone. In today's episode, we'll be discussing the Keir and Chloe Johnson disappearance. 11-year-old also dies by suicide after bullies threaten to call ICE and pay what you can restaurant practices in the Richmond area. So please invite your friends, family to check out the Leaders Only show, have a watch party, subscribe to our channel, share it, like it, hit the little bell, comment below. And if you're watching the live stream, that's cool. Please put the hashtag replay if you weren't able to catch the live stream in the comments, just to let us know that you were here. How you feeling today, bro?
Oh man, you know me, I'm blessed, man. Glad to be here always, man. You know, God is good all the time, man.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Before we start today's show, just wanted to, continue with what I did on Facebook and just put a prayer out there because, one of the communities that we're familiar in being the Tidewater area and the 804 area. The last 3 days just has been devastating, just to multiple families. There's been a brother shot on I-64 going into Henrico County because of road rage. There was also a brother that we were familiar with that just got into it with the police officers, took their lives in his own, and that one really touched home. Former athlete, standout athlete, you know what I mean? And a 25-year-old officer and a 30-year-old officer. I know each and every last one of them have somebody who loves them, who is looking forward to them all making it back home. So just wanted to send our prayers out, just some love, some strength to the area, as well as lastly, there was also a young lady in her 30s who was affected by a DUI driver, by a driver in her 50s. She went on the wrong side of the interstate, caused the accident, and took the young lady's life. So as I said again, there are no large I's, little U's. There's history behind some of these stories, and the only thing that I can do and think of right now is to leave judgment in the hands of the Most High and just pray for everyone who has been affected by this. And it's a teachable moment in a lot of cases with substance abuse and mental health, which is a reason why we should take these things seriously. So before we got started, I just wanted to start there because our community that we are involved in has been affected in a big way.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. I'm gonna go ahead and start it off, man. Before I do that, I do want to send my condolences out to those families. Send my prayers out. Hoping the Most High can touch those hearts who are struggling with the trauma that they're going to be affected by. And you never know, like we always say, man, you never know what nobody else is going through, what nobody else is thinking. If you do recognize the signs, man, 988. I'm gonna go ahead and start this off with today's first story. Ex-boyfriend charged with first-degree murder in case of Keir and Chloe Johnson disappeared more than 7 years after Keir Johnson and her infant daughter Chloe vanished from the peninsula. Officials say they've arrested Chloe's father in connection to their disappearance. Let's check out this clip, man.
Tonight, a major breakthrough in the disappearance of the mother and daughter you see here, Keir and Chloe Johnson. As we've been sharing with you, they have been missing from the peninsula since 2017. It is a case that we have covered relentlessly ever since. And now a man has been charged with their murder. This is Carlos Johnson Jr. Carlos Johnson facing 2 counts of first-degree murder.
Now, he is the ex-boyfriend of Keir Johnson and the father of their baby girl, Chloe. They have the same last names, but Keir and Carlos are not married.
The mother and daughter's bodies have not been found, but police believe Carlos Johnson Jr. killed them. It was April 30th, 2017, when Keir and her daughter, Chloe, never showed up to meet up with friends at Buckrow Beach in Hampton. Days later, Keir's abandoned car was found in Newport News, and police there have been in charge of the investigation ever since. The announcement of today's arrest and their deaths is the first major update in years.
There's only been one nobody case in the city of Newport News, which is when someone is convicted of murder without the victim's body being recovered. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off. Never sad story. Never same old story. Because it's been happening repeatedly in this community, in which people continue to be blind in domestic things, continue to be blind, or use the intimidate. People get the intimidation factors screwed up with being honest with yourself and truthful with yourself, to be able to know that somebody's not in the right state, or somebody's being harmed or is in danger of being harmed. So it's sad that these two, one being a woman and one being a baby infant female, it's sad. I just pray that they get the right justice. And if the guy did do it, I mean, he got to meet with the maker, and they always get what they deserve. So, like I said, sad story, man. It's kind of heart touching because it's a baby involved. It just goes to show that, man, we living in a corrupted time. So, you gotta really focus on yourself and get yourself together. What you think, bro?
Yeah, man. I also, first, I always send, my heart out to especially innocent children, because they don't even get a chance to live their lives. But this goes back to one of the earlier shows that we had, to where I really think that there should be some type of mental health criteria, or some type of course, that you have to pass in order to be a parent, or even be involved, to be a step parent or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because dealing with children, is a touchy subject, because they don't deserve the frustration that we go through on a day to day, just by being adults, from the choices that we've made to get us wherever we are. Children are only looking for, the joys of life, the comfort and the support, the stabilized foundation that you've given them, the love. So for something like this to happen, just goes clearly to show, like you said, that somebody's mental health wasn't being monitored. It could have been, she may have reported it, and, people don't take it as serious. But above all, when it comes to men and us being young men, I always, just urge for people to, especially men, to get help. Dial 988, get a counsel, a pastor. I always urge people to go to therapy, till you get to a point where you can actually control your emotions, and articulate what you're trying to get out. It's always touchy when, resorting to violence, and especially at the hands of something as brutal as taking someone's life, is the result, because there's no coming back from that. There's no coming back for you, whether you take your own life or you get locked up. But then you harm, the mother, she don't come back. And then you take an innocent child's life as well, before it even gets a chance to being started. And, the one thing that we, always push is, the next generation. The legacy being carried on. And this is just a sad case where, the legacy stops at the hands of an emotional man. Um, so, yeah, man. With that being said, as we move forward to our next story, which is about 11-year-old girl who dies by suicide after bullies threaten to call ICE on her family. Jocelyn Rojo Carranza, a young Texas girl whose death by suicide is under investigation. The 11-year-old died by suicide on February the 8th, 5 days after her mother found her unresponsive in their Gainesville, Texas home. Her mother says Jocelyn was bullied by other students who claimed her family was in the U.S. illegally. Jocelyn's mother, Marvella Carranza, did not find out that her daughter had been bullied and was seeing a counselor at school until she died. The Boys and Girls Club of Cook County, where Jocelyn was a member, said she was kind, sweet, and a great friend to many. Her friends at the club said their favorite memories with her included climbing trees together, her making them laugh, and being able to tell her anything. We are deeply saddened by the loss of Jocelyn, but we are hopeful that her story will change the lives of many. Yeah. First and foremost, again, just sending condolences, prayers out to all the families involved, even the ones of the children who were bullying. I pray that this is a teachable lesson, a learning lesson for those children, but for those parents to monitor what their children are seeing. You know what I mean? You can't be with your children 24/7, in which we know. And this bullying thing has taken on a new role from when we were coming up. Because when we were coming up, you say a joke, you bully me, you say something about me, I'm gonna say it back. Or you bullying me in the sense of fear. You know what I mean? I'm gonna stay out of your way, or you're gonna have to fight that bully, or something's gonna happen to the point where you're gonna have to defend yourself. In today's time, I just feel like these children, because there is a lack of, fathers in the household, and there's just a lack of masculinity being appraised in society today. That these type of issues arise where kids are as depressed, as frustrated. They're dealing with more anxiety today because things that parents are not teaching them or keeping them from. We didn't have social media when we were coming up, so the social pressure of having material things or being in the know is not wasn't as prevalent as it is today, which is why you have to have in a relationship with your child so you could teach them really the value of life. Then this immigration thing is something totally new for us as well, because when we were coming up, even if it was something that was going on as far as deportation and green cards and immigrants or whatever have you, it wasn't something as prevalent as it is today, where there's millions of illegal immigrants here, to where now you just don't know. So for kids to be saying it, we don't know. They could be legal. She could be, she could have been born here, but because she looks of another race that fits, the criteria of maybe her roots, people are actually saying that she's, illegal. And as you can see, it weighed on her because she had to have seen other issues or other friends or family members where it has happened to for her to want to take her life and be that scared and be that sad about somebody threatening to call ICE on her. And maybe it wasn't just specifically for her, but when they make those calls or those threats, she's thinking, well, what if I'm taken away from my mother and my father, or, one of my parents are being taken away from me. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing bigger, especially, you know, being without a father in a lot of single parent households is something that's predominant in our culture, but in their cultures, you know what I mean, it is very normal to see the mother and the father together, and to see that they're not as in the pop culture materialistic realm. So something as serious as somebody threatening not to take your Jordans or beat you up for your lunch money, but literally get your family detached from one another is something that was serious to an 11-year-old little girl. So there's nothing more pure than a child. So I say to everybody, that this is a teachable moment, no matter of her race or if she's here legally or illegally. It's just messed up that it had to go this far for her to have taken her life. But what I will say on the flip side is we've seen things like movies, as far as like act of valor, a lot of movies where you're dealing with war and the Navy SEALs, to where you see children with bombs, and stuff of that nature. So not saying she was of that ilk, but you just never know. Like, it's such a touchy subject, and we have, as adults, have become, so argumentative and emotional that all we do on the internet and when the topics come up is argue. That children, all they do, is pick up on us. So she sees how serious this issue is. So above all, please try to go over the hot topics and the topics that, the social topics that are going on in society with your children, so that they're not just picking it up from the news and from the instances that they're seeing or hearing, that they can get it firsthand from you. So she can see, she could have had assurance from the parents, like, no, you're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. Here's our citizenship, or here's our green card, or whatever. She just needed that assurance, and that love. So it's a teachable moment. Sorry to be long-winded. What you think, bro?
I pretty much I pretty much feel the same way. I got mutual feelings that you have. The things that can hinder a situation that easy to a young person, man, is crazy. One thing that really set out a spotlight for me, what you said was, you never know what this trauma could do to the bully. Because now that's who you need to be watching. Because this young person already took her life, so now you need to watch how this could either set off the bully in a good, not saying good, but it could save him for them learning their lesson. Not saying that they're not going to get the proper justice, but make them learn their lesson, or they can get even worse and grow up to
Hmm.
be something even worse. So that's something to monitor. Another thing was, yeah, like, man, back in the day, I feel like we were less, like you said, exposed to the internet, which couldn't amplify a lot of our situations. To the most extent, it'll go to a fist fight, um,
Hmm.
and we cool with that. Nobody's going to die from that. Then you have this new generation and things of that nature. They're very outspoken. It's so easy to be exposed to certain dangers in nature. It's so easy to learn how to do something stupid. Because that's mostly what's advertised nowadays, is the ignorance and the stupidity and the dumbest things that you can do on the internet, to get views. So I mean that amplifies a lot of situations, and bullying has been around for so long, and to throw the social media exposure on top of that to amplify it up makes it even worse in the young. It not only happened to the young, but it's more exposed when a young person takes their life. But I just feel like bullying been around so long, bro. They people need to really pay attention to the stories. I mean, I know we put up a lot of stories, and most of them are very sad and heart thrilling, right? And heartwarming. And most of them touch home. That's the reason why we put them up. But at the same time, if we don't, who will?
Hmm.
It was that simple for me not to even know about JMac, because I'm not in tune with the regular news. But it's not being exposed like if we didn't expose it. It's not really
Hmm.
being exposed like that. And it's the thing that's being exposed. Okay, we know that the officers was the issue, but nobody was really paying attention, I feel like, to his mental health, just like nobody probably paying attention to the bully's mental health. What makes them bully? What makes them do stupid act to intimidate, or is it because you want their attention, or what is it? So it's a lot, man, and for it to continue to be kids being the victims of these situations, it's crazy, and it hurts.
Hmm. Yeah, man. So, in closing in that story, man, just again, man, you need to strengthen your relationship with the children. Like I said, the mother didn't even know that the child was even going to a counselor. I feel like that's an issue that the counselor should have definitely been called home, and they should have had some type of meeting together as a
Yeah, of
family. Like, look,
course.
this is what's going on. Can we get the other kids' parents here as well?
Yep.
So it wasn't her first resort to go and just take her life. She went and got
Right.
help, you know what I mean? And it was just sad that she couldn't go to her parents. So that right there shows that there's some type of lack in communication and connection that she has with her parents, and where she feels safe enough to come tell them. But that's the school, how I feel, the school dropped the ball in a major way.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because if you're a guidance counselor and you are having these type of personal conversations with a child, and you don't reach out to their parents, that's shame on you. Because the
Yeah.
parent, number one, just needs to be in the loop, but number two, the parent also provides knowledgeable information for you, so you can see the type of child you're dealing with. Have they gone through this before? But ultimately, it leaves that open end of communication, that when something serious is going on, call us first, call me first, call the parent first, because I want to be aware, instead of when my child decides to take their life. I'm finding out all of this, in which you feel like now you were defenseless, because there was something you could have done as a parent, but somebody took that opportunity away from you. So I'm pretty sure that that leaves some type of PTSD and mental illness, and pain, on that parent. That it's gonna bring some anger. So now, instead of just a heartfelt situation with children, and the parents have to deal with just bullies, they get to now, have the ability to channel their anger towards the guidance counselor and the school's faculty, staff. You never know if a legal action will be taken on the school now. But it just leaves too many open ends to where
Hmm.
it could be easily handled if they have of
Yeah.
um, proper channels of conflict resolution. So
Yeah.
as we move forward, we do have a break. We always want to keep you guys continue to stay encouraged, and be the best that you can be physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially. Practice safe habits. Protect yourself from the elements in the bitter cold and snow. Dress appropriately when you're outside, as well as the seasons are changing and it's warming up. Just prepare yourself, and build your immune system. Be aware of your surroundings. Try to travel in groups as much as possible, be it early or late. Eat right, sleep right, meditate, pray, read. Be mindful of the suicide hotline and emergency number, which is 988. You can call or text. Please don't hesitate if you're struggling. We really advocate for mental health on this side. So please get you some help. And if it's even more of an emergency, please dial 911. Get yourself some help. So as we
Sir.
move into our last story, you want to kick the last story off?
Man, yeah, man. So this is a unique story. This one is dope, man. It really touches me and bro, in our fields. Me and him being a mental health chef, and me growing up in the restaurant cooking. I think this is a dope idea. So here we go. His restaurant has offered a pay what you can menu for years. Now he's encouraged others to join. So check out this clip.
Years now, we fed over 7,000 people at free or reduced rate.
It's a program Samuel Veney, the owner of Philly Vegan, produced during the COVID-19 pandemic to help his community.
Pay what you can is when customers come to the restaurant, they choose items off the pay what you can menu. If they're not able to afford that, then it's free, or they can pay whatever they can.
And now, after years of giving away good food,
People love them egg rolls.
the Richmond restaurant owner is aiming to make an even greater impact with the help of other local businesses.
He reached out to us through the Richmond Black Restaurant Experience chat and asked who wanted to be involved, and we jumped on immediately.
I just jumped to it. I was like, yes, this is great.
Claudius Charles with Charles Kitchen in Glen Allen and Mercedes Benson with Urban Hang Suite in Richmond are just 2 of 7 restaurants participating in the 3-day event.
So to just see all of us, especially as a minority-owned restaurants, pulling our resources together and saying, let's do this, we can do this. I'm super excited about that.
We got the East, the West, the South, and the North, and Chesterfield, and Henrico covers.
Mama J's Kitchen, Croaker Spot, Inner City Blues, and the original Ronnie's Barbecue are also a part of the Pay What You Can initiative.
And we're passionate about helping people, and all of these restaurants are passionate about helping people.
We have been blessed to be in this space for going on 7 years. The community around us has supported us, so we would like to do something to help the community.
I think it's so important to feed people, especially in this time where everyone is struggling and everyone is trying to make ends meet.
February 18th, 19th, and 21st, customers can just come in, select from the menu, and pay whatever they can or nothing at all.
It's beautiful to know that you can make a positive impact in somebody else's life by just something that seems small, like giving a meal. But it can really change a person's attitude, a person's day.
And this is my all-spice seasoning.
A way of caring for their community they all hope
It's hot, but it's tasty.
continues to grow.
This is our trial we were able to jump on.
It's definitely something I hope to grow and more restaurants attach themselves to it.
We must do all we can to help each other, to spread that love. So that's what we want to do.
Pretty dope, man. I kick it off on some of the highlights, man. So I want to commend Mr. Samuel Veney, because that's dope, man. It being vegan as well, so he's already about making smart decisions of what he intakes. Also, the idea of giving back to your community is dope. I looked at it as the business, where the business from the business mind stamp, right? It creates a lot for his company as well. Not just the exposure, but the integrity of his customers, giving them the option to pay or not. And most people that don't, if they don't have it, they standing on integrity. And most people that do, they standing on integrity. So that's pretty dope, and also can help his restaurant grow even more. And for him to preach the unity, reach out and see the community coming as one. Some of the restaurant owners and some of the restaurants that they threw out, I actually been to, and that's pretty dope, man. Shout out to Mr. Samuel, like I said, man, because that's fire.
Yeah, man. First and foremost, you know what I'm saying? I frequent, whenever I'm in Richmond, this is the restaurant that we go to. So first and foremost,
I remember
want
when
to
you got
know
that joint for me when we went to the game. My bad, bro. I remember when you got that
to
Philly when we went to the
know where does this menu exist? You know what I'm saying? But I've never had a problem paying full price for multiple reasons. One, because we look alike. You know what I'm saying? Two. Well, I think that'll be two. One being it's a good meal. It's a good cheap meal. It's a good vegan cheap meal. It's not something that I would eat every day, but every time I'm in Richmond, I do go there. If I have the time to eat, that is the spot that I go to, because it just gives you that feel. You miss eating meat. You come from eating meat. You just want to get a cheesesteak at some point. So it is good. Also, just a big up, like you said. I often, that's what it did, was it inspired me. You know what I'm saying? Just to, like I always tell you guys now, I want to stay in that realm of mom and pop, even when expanding. I want to have that story of, we started from out the house, and we started at the farmer's market, and you started at with a truck, and then you got a trailer, and then you got a brick and mortar. But you have a story. You get to build that intimate connection through your creativity with utilizing empathy. You know what I'm saying? He utilizes empathy by stating that, people are going through hard times. You know what I mean? And your restaurant doesn't stay a restaurant without the support of others. So if you don't find a way to include and find inclusion, then you miss out on the opportunity to still carry a relationship with a customer. Whereas though you would waste that type of money anyway if you were just doing, traditional marketing and advertising, getting ads and stuff with the radio, getting ads and stuff on, Shade Room and places where we be, Barla Alert, World Star. You spend thousands of dollars in that anyway. So why not make this? You're killing about two, three birds with one stone with this act of kindness, but it's also sparking the word to carry for your promotion and your advertising and marketing. But then it's also springing a sense of community into Richmond, you know what I'm saying, by, starting a movement where, okay, where most people say, the corporations in this term, in these terms, is small businesses, which is still ain't the big boys, but it is people who look like you, who are a part of your community, who understand your community probably better than a major corporation does anyway. So this is a tremendous act of creativity and empathy and a sense of giving back, because he could easily say, man, forget the people and we only gonna get who we gonna get, and that's just that. I also think this is an initiative that could be something cool to where it's gonna springboard across that city and maybe into other cities, to where you have, like Fashion Week, you have Restaurant Week. This could be, something that can springboard from a 3-day program into, a citywide, restaurant wide, pay what you can thing. I'm pretty sure that it could possibly open up, doors for tax breaks within some arena. So that's a good thing on a business side. Also, you know what I mean? It just shows that, that you are a human being. You don't own every company in Richmond or every company in the United States anyway. So at some point, you're a customer. You know what I mean? So I think that it pushes that narrative to owners to always remember that, number one, you once were a customer, and every day that you're a customer of some business. So it keeps you grounded, and keeps you in the loop of, keeping you humane. Lastly, I think that there's just positive story, in which we need, you know what I'm saying? We opened up, today's show praying for a multitude of people from 3 different stories. We went and covered 2 stories in which, we're looking at babies, we're looking at innocent mothers, we're looking at fathers lose their life because of mental health. So it's great to just have a positive story, that again, we we can touch the negative story and it be a part of our life, but here we are with a positive story with a restaurant in which I also frequent and that we support, in places like Croker Spot, and the other restaurants that they said, we've been there, you know what I'm saying? So it's also always great where you are a part of something unconsciously, not even knowing that they do something, but you can attest to the good that they're doing because their restaurant is upstanding, and we need more of that. So, what's better than one so-called black billionaire or millionaire? It's a multitude of us. You know what I'm saying? And other restaurants, same thing. You get from being a small business to a big business, by doing things of this nature and building long lasting relationships with customers. So I tip my hat to all of them. And it is just an inspiring moment. It's also confirmation to continue to do what is creative and what you believe in your heart for your business. And it goes a long way. So I'm thankful to just have been some support to Mr. Samuel Veney, but I'm also thankful that he started this initiative because it will inspire and motivate other businesses to just do something. It may not just be pay what you can, but it might, pull other business owners together to collaborate to do more meaningful things within the community.
Yes, sir, man. That's dope, man. Shout out
Yes.
Mr.
Yeah.
Vinny. Shout out to Philly Vegan.
Yes, and shout out to Sakina 828 for the comment. Yes, indeed, man. We appreciate everybody for being here. As you know, the show is coming to a close. It's always a pleasure, you know what I mean, to get together and have some type of fellowship where we could talk about no matter what and bring it back home to some type of positivity to lead off our week. So this is the Leaders Only Show, digital and podcast live streamed each and every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. We appreciate you all for joining us for season 5, episode 18. We definitely hope that you enjoyed the show, and we look forward to you joining us next week. Just let us know what interests you, and we'll bring it to you on our show. We have no problem with listening. We're brought to you today by What a Change Mentoring and Tone Drone, and I am Samaj.
And I'm Kendall.
So please like, share,
Comment.
subscribe, comment, hit the bell, email us at leadersonly22@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. We will definitely see you next week at the same time, same place. And being as though mental health and our whole overall health is such an important subject, don't forget anything you need in the holistic realm, be it plant-based teas, capsules, extracts, anything.
Mouse sauce. Get that mouse
www.mentalhealthchef.com.
sauce.
Yes, indeed.
Get
It's
that
down
mouse
there in the
sauce.
bottom.
Yeah, follow us on all our platforms. Our platforms is up on the bottom of the ticker. I also would just want to say this, man. Anything y'all got, any topics, anything y'all want us to discuss, if we can approve it, send it. And if you missed our last show, it was because of we got some copyright issues. You know, they shoot us down on
Yeah,
them
we
things. But
definitely gonna get that
we
show back
appreciate
up.
the 100. We appreciate the 90 plus that we got. Just check it out, man. That was on the live, man. We definitely appreciate that. Wish we could have kept it the same, but you know, they hate. It's all good.
Yeah.
Peace,
No,
love,
they
and
got
blessings.
stipulations, man. We gotta get that show back up, man. We definitely gotta get that show
Yes,
back
sir.
up without the Kendrick Lamar. And also, lastly, as we started the show, as we said, man, very touchy subjects. It's gonna carry over for some time. I take it as a teachable moment working with athletes. This is definitely a serious time to teach all athletes to stay on top of your mental health. Even when you
Yes, sir.
detach from the game, it's very important to keep that connection with your teammates, keep that connection with people who can help. You are hurting yourself by staying quiet. So please, please, please speak up. Leave the judgment in the hands of the Most High, and always
Yes,
remember
sir.
we are given a purpose, and a part of our purpose is serving. So let's spend some more time serving instead of judging so we can get better results.
Yes, sir. Peace.